What love is. Are we on yet? Is that a minute? Chris off? Is that a minute gone? Oh, yeah. Pilates 5. Are we live? Hi, team. Sorry, asking the husband whether we're live. It is not Chill 6. What a mistake at the maker. It's Pilates 5. So you're not going to need a lot for this class, just your beautiful selves and your mat. And that's about it. So yeah, Pilates 5. We're going to be starting on our backs. So we've got about 3.5 minutes until class starts. You can roll on down into a reclined butterfly if you like and spend a bit of time on your back. Try not to nod back off to sleep if you're joining me live in the early sesh. If you're happy, go and get yourself a drink, go and set yourself a cup of tea, pop to the side. Make sure you don't knock it over, of course. So yeah, Pilates. We've got yoga in the park tonight. It's looking a bit grim and grey at the moment, but there is a beautiful little window this evening where it lightens up a little bit. So we're going to take our session to the park. If things do change, then obviously we will let you know if you're booked onto the class. If you've not tried Pilates, if you've not tried any of the yoga or Pilates in the park, because she's changing cameras around. I normally talk to that one, but I'm talking to this one. So if you take any, if you've tried any of the yoga in the park or haven't tried it yet, come on, join us. It's so much fun. Loads and loads of good times to be had. Lots of giggles when you're trying to keep your poses held in, or particularly your balance poses in the wind. It's always good to have a play around with the balance. Gets the muscles working and recruiting when you're wobbling around a little bit more. Always fun to see what the local dogs are getting up to. They also have the same interest in what we're doing, so they come over and visit us as well. So yeah, we have got 2 minutes to go. Chris is drawing pretty pictures on the screen in front of me with his mouse. Hello, Melissa. Good morning. Are you well? Are you well, my love? Can you hear me, Melissa? Can you hear me? Chris, you... Okay, no problem. Good mornings. So then, we will be working through a sequence of exercises today. Starting on our backs. Oh yeah, don't forget my beautiful heart rate. Apparently there's a green number there, which means I'm in the good zone. I'm at 79, 74. That seems very high for me. I'm only sat on my bum. But we're testing out. Here we go. It's coming down. We're testing out our monitors. So underneath here, morning. So underneath here, I've got my heart rate monitor on. Chris is just testing this out, and you can see it projected on that little number at the screen up there. So currently saying 75. But yeah, that is my heart rate. Let's see. Doubt it's going to go up too much. We'll see though, because we have got a 6 to 8 minute plank section coming up. Melissa, he's just sorting it for you, don't worry. So 29 seconds to go. So as I said, if you want to come down into that reclined position, if you've not heard already, we're able to reopen the studio on the 25th. All right, so we've got volume. Morning, Melissa. I have been talking to you. So that little button on the screen there is my heart rate, that 83. Apparently, I don't know why it's that high. Morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Pilates number 5. We're going to start on our backs today in our session. We've got quite a few supine exercises. Supine just means lie on your back. So come on down. Let's take a little gentle hip opener, bringing the soles of the feet together. Let the arms float to wherever they feel comfortable. I always like to take mine above the head, bit of a mobility for the shoulders, but you can take them down by the side body. You can rest one hand on the heart, one on the belly. Just allow yourself to open up here through the chest. Let the shoulders relax back and down. Let those little facial muscles relaxed. One thing I've noticed during lockdown, if I'm feeling a little bit tense, I tend to clench my jaw. And this is something that my dentist keeps telling me about because I grind my teeth. I really need to get out of this habit. So letting everything feel floppy and loose to start off this session. Now, if you've done Pilates with us before, you'll know that we do want to keep some engagement throughout the whole session through our core band, through our center, so our abdominals and our lower back. And we can equate that to about 30% of our maximum squeeze. So if you imagine that full-on tight feeling through your tummy, for those of you that have been pregnant before, imagine having your contraction. That's a good old squeeze through the belly. And then we're going to just release that, slacken off to about 30%. And that's where we want to hold. Unless, of course, we're working specifically on that abdominal region. And then we might want to take it a little bit deeper. So as we're lying here, just see if you can find an evenness to your shoulders and also an evenness to your hips. If you're harboring any injuries or tightness from other exercises, you might notice that one side feels a little bit wonky. So aiming to breathe into that wonky side. Full deep breath in and out. And again, if you haven't done any Pilates with us before, it's very much about learning to control and to lengthen our muscles. So finding precision whilst finding strength. So we do quite a few repetitions of the exercises. So it's not like we'd hold, perhaps in one of our yoga classes, a position for a little bit longer. We're aiming to find a number of repetitions in order to increase the endurance of those muscles that we're engaging. All right, let's start to move from here. So if you can either take the hands to the knees if you need that bit of assistance and start to draw the knees together. As you bring the knees together, I want you to think about that engagement through the abs, so you plant down through the lower back. Then start to draw one knee in at a time. Give yourself a little hug. For all of these exercises, I'm going to give you at least one other, if not two other, variations or modifications so that you feel comfortable with a level that you can work with. Have a little rock and roll from side to side, just pressing the lower back into the ground. Again, if you've been doing a lot of work and your lower back feels quite strained, this can be a very gentle exercise. So rocking side to side, you might even want to rock round in a circle. So taking the knees away and just allowing yourself to roll around through those lower back muscles. Well done. You can take the knees a little bit further apart if that feels more comfortable for you. So finding yourself back through center. Let the back of the head remain down on the floor. So I want you to keep that relaxation through the back of the neck. And then start to draw some hip circles. So draw the knee in towards the chest on the inhale. Exhale, rolling out and around. And again, this is a good way to test if you've got any imbalances through the hips. So if you do feel like you're not taking a big circle through one side, and it feels different to the other side, and that's what we're going to work on. You can always, in this instance, come back and just take circles through that side which feels less mobile. Work into that mobility by focusing on just that one side at a time. But for now, we're just going to take doubles. So as I said, we've got these 7 supine exercises. The first 2 are working from a bridge pose. We're going to start with a nice dynamic bridge, just to get the spine warmed up. So when you're ready, float the feet down to the floor. Think about pressing through the heel, the big toe, the little toe, and adjust the feet accordingly. So you can take the feet a little bit further out away from the hips, or you can walk the feet further in. It really depends on your setup and what feels comfortable in the body. So think about that engagement through the abs once more, and think about that lovely length to the spine. So if you took your chin ever so slightly towards your chest, you've got that sensation where you're pressing down through the back of the head and reaching all the way down the spine to the coccyx. So finding that squeeze there, that's going to be really important as we lower back down. So from here, let's think about sequential movement. Squeezing through the abs, we're going to lift up through the hips. So nice little float up through the hips, rising up along the spine, just one vertebra at a time, really finding lots of precision and that control. So we're not going to rush any of these exercises that we take in Pilates. Lowering all the way down. This is where we can really engage the abs as we lower. Taking that good old squeeze in through the center. If you want to get your arms involved, we can float the arms up. Nice work. Hips coming to their highest point. Don't worry about going too high, as it's just part of our warm-up. Maybe as we progress through the repetitions, you can lift a little bit higher. So readjust the feet when the back is down if you want to. Inhale to come on up. So here we're just stretching out through the front body, particularly the fronts of the quads, the big thighs, and the hips. You also get that nice engagement and lift through the shoulders as you open out into the armpits there. Stretching out through the fingertips, get a nice stretch through the arms. Lowering down with control. Right, we're going to take another 4 more. You might want to shuffle the feet a little bit closer. That might allow you to take a little bit more lift. And if you do want to, you can float the heels off the ground as well. So that's going to destabilize you, and it makes the movement a little bit harder. So lower down with the heels lifted, and as you get that lower back to connect with the floor, press the heels down then, and then start your next rep. Inhale, float up, maybe come up onto the heels. Trying to avoid any sway round through the knees. So really engaging those stabilizing muscles through the legs and through the glutes. Lower down. Well done. We're going to take another 2 repetitions. Inhale, float up. I'm just going to talk you through the next move. It's a single-legged bridge. Okay, so we're going to power up quite quick on the inhale and then lower nice and slow, just as we're doing here on this flowing bridge. Okay, so bringing the lower back to the floor. Let's start by planting down through the right foot again, just the distance between the heel and the hips. Slowly take that left leg into the air. Now, if it's uncomfortable to have the leg straight, just take a little bend there in the knee. So the knee wants to be above the hip. And as I said, we're going to press up quite hard. So squeeze and lift, really fire up the glutes there, and then slowly start to lower down. Once that lower back touches base, straight back up to the air, squeeze and lift. And then slowly lower down. Now you can keep those arms down by the side. If you want to make this more testing, you can take the arms up above the head again. That works on destabilizing, making it a little bit trickier. Lowering down to keep those shoulders connected. Squeeze. Slow lower. Okay, so essentially we're pushing up for 1 quick one, lowering down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up 1, lower 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up 1. So if that left leg's getting tired, are you feeling it too much in the hamstring? Feel free to bend that knee. Okay, any variations here are welcome. See what your body is feeling like today and work with it. Okay, keep going. We've got another 3 reps. This is 3. Lower down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Squeeze. And then we're going to swap sides. Lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Just take those little checks in the body. Are those abs feeling nice and tight? Are you feeling relaxed through the rest of the body and those muscles that aren't working? All right, release the lower back down and let's swap over. Take the right foot to the sky, or maybe just take that 90-degree knee bend. Move around through the left foot if you need to, adjust the hips if you need to. Make yourself comfortable and set yourself up for a good start. Maybe take the arms up straight away, entirely up to you. Let's go. We're going to take that squeeze and lift, and then lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touch base with the lower back, squeeze and lift. Lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've got 6 more reps. This is 6. Okay, I'm going to stop those counts because you might be working at a different speed to me. It can be quite off-putting. So close the eyes, go within, and work your way through another 4 reps. Well done. Again, think sequential movement along the spine. Don't just plonk the lower back down. We want to find that control as we lower. Awesome stuff. We've got another 2. Well done. So still staying on our backs for the next move. This time we're going to be working into a little pigeon sequence, a nice release to the hips. Pop that right foot down for me. If you want to take the knees in again and have another little rock and roll, or alternatively you want to take the feet back down and just windscreen wiper the legs from side to side, just providing a little bit of a release through that low back, which has just been working quite hard. Okay, so that first pigeon move, replant the spine down on the ground, slight tuck of the chin to the chest to find the length, lift up through the left leg and pop it onto the right thigh. So you want to have this right knee in line with the right ankle and right hip. So you don't want the foot out to the side, or you don't want to be coming across the body at all. So find that connection. Left foot is flexed and left knee wants to press away towards the front edge of your mat on this one. As you come into your pigeon stretch, we're going to reach between the legs with the left hand, take a little clasp around the right shin, or maybe around the back of your left leg. If you want a bit more hamstring work, extend that right leg. And just let the shoulders be heavy and let the back of the head just rest down on the ground. There's going to be plenty of time for engaging the abs and lifting. By having the head down, we're just letting those abs have a bit of a rest. So we're working into some hamstring and hip flexibility here for another 5, Remember to activate that left leg and press it away. You'll really feel that into the left glute, so your butt muscles and into the hip. 3, keep going. 2, and 1. Bring the right foot to the floor, and let's take a pigeon bridge. So make sure the foot is in line with the hip and adjust the distance between hip and heel if you need to. So keep that left leg planted down. So as we've got one leg lifted here, you're going to have to work extra hard to keep yourself moving up and down with control. So have a go. You can keep the hands down on the floor. That's going to give you that extra points of contact. So this time we're slowly lifting and we're slowly lowering. So we're not taking that power up through the glutes. So controlling lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can relax those facial muscles, relax the shoulders. Well done. Keep lifting and lowering. Now, if you do want to get the hands involved, this can take the exercise a little bit, make it a little bit more tricky. You can float the arms up overhead. And trying to stabilize through the hips here if you can, without swaying around from side to side. Well done. I'm going to work here for another 6. Find that breath. Work with the breath. Lowering down with control. So in Pilates, we tend to breathe the opposite way to yoga. So whereas in yoga, we'd inhale to lift and exhale to lower, in Pilates, we'd exhale to lift and then inhale to lower. But I don't mind what you do. As long as you're breathing, that's all right with me. So holding the breath serves to build pressure in the thorax, which we don't want to do. We just want to find a nice, easy flow to make sure that we're working into the glutes here. Let's take another 2, and then we're going to swap into our next exercise, still working this same side. Well done, lowering down with control. So our next exercise is a crunch. Okay, so keep that left foot on top of right. Take the hands, the fingertips to the temples. Now, step 1 or level 1 is to take a little squeeze and lift of the shoulders off the ground. Now, imagine you've got an apple underneath your chin, so you're keeping the back of the neck nice and long, and then lower back down. Okay, so squeeze and lift. So obviously we're taking that crunch through the center now, a little bit deeper than 30%. If you want to take this a little bit further, what you could do is take the right leg off the floor, and you can take that option. Or what you could do is add a little twist in at the top. So keeping the elbows nice and wide, inhale to lift, exhale to come across, and then release, and let the head come down as our last point of contact. Inhale to squeeze and lift, exhale to come across the body, and release. Well done. Inhale. Exhale, find space as we cross over and release. If that crossover and that bicycle sort of crunch doesn't work for you, bring in opposite elbow to knee, then feel free just to work through the up and the downward phase of that initial movement that I showed you. Well done. Keep working. We're going to go for another 10. And then we're going to swap sides. 9. Awesome work. You can always get that right leg lifted and take the bicycle crunch if you want. I'll intensify it a little bit more. 6. Nice and slow. Remember, don't rush. 5. Each one is of excellent quality. That's what we're aiming for. And it's nice to know that my heart rate is just happy at 71. It's going to be interesting, I think, when we do our power sessions, see what my heart rate is during a hot, sweaty power. Might be off the flipping chart. All right, we've got 3 more squeezes. Lift. Well done. And lower. And lift. And return back to the mat. Good job, everyone. Release. Take that left foot down to the ground. Let's start off with a little stretch. Take the right foot onto the left thigh. Remember to even up the spine. Don't feel that you're taking a C shape through the spine on the mat. I want you to find a nice straight long line. Find your variation of your figure 4 stretch or your pigeon stretch. Back of the neck nice and long. Shoulders heavy. And just drawing the left leg in as that right foot gently rests on the left thigh, just above the knee, so you're not putting any pressure on the kneecap. And again, you can extend that left leg if you like. You can take a grip around the front of the shins, just see what feels the most comfortable in the glutes and in the right hip. So if you did sculpt last night with Rosie, you might be feeling it in the glutes. This might be a nice little release for you. So sculpt number 5, our newest round. There's loads of fun. Lots of fun new exercises in there as well. Okay, less chat, more action, Jen. Let's make our way into our bridge. Float the left foot down. Again, think about those options with the arms. Arms can stay down on the ground, or they can come up overhead as you lift. Are we ready? Let's flow. Inhale, stabilize. Slow, slow, steady lift. Hips to the sky. It might be as we've moved through our different bridge variations that we've taken already, you start to find a bit more height, so that's good. So we're finding a bit more mobility through the spine. That's another good benefit of Pilates, working on mobility, perhaps not so much as you would in terms of a yoga practice. It's more of a functional movement. Lowering down with control. Inhale, try and relax the face, relax the chest. Stretch out through the lovely abdominals, which are going to be working quite hard shortly. And lower. So see if you can replant your spine. I always like to imagine I'm lying on the beach. Well, just because it's nice, really. But as you lower down, you're replanting your spine in that line on the sand that you left as you were laid there. It just means that you're minimalizing any movement around from left to right. Perfect, well done. Let's take another 5. As I said, with the breath, try the Pilates breath, exhaling to lift if you want. And then inhaling to lower. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. Let's take another 2. We've got this. I'm going to take our cross crunch, our bicycle pigeon mix up. Lowering down, well done. And final lift. Make it a good one. Really working into strengthening our lower back here. Awesome. Lowering down with control. Keep the right foot hooked onto that thigh for me. And remember, we've got those crunches. So simple fingertips to temples, pressing the right knee away, elbows wide. Inhale, squeeze and lift, bringing the shoulders off the mat. And then lowering back down. And then lifting. If you want to add that crunching, keep the elbows wide, bringing the left elbow to the right knee this time, back through center. Low back down. Let's go for 10. 9. Awesome. 8. 7. Try and think about keeping the spine as long as you can. Working into the obliques a little bit here as we twist, as well as the big rectus abdominis set, which is your traditional, what you know as your 6-pack. There's actually 8 of them, but we know it as 6. I'd be happy with 2. Chris has got 10. Another 3. 2. Remember to slow it right down. And the final one. All right, come on down. Take a little relax and release. Let's windscreen wiper the legs once more, just allowing the hips to open. Okay, so the next exercise is called scissors in Pilates. It's a nice hamstring stretch, but feel free to keep a little bit of a knee bend. So we're going to extend the right leg long, or you can have it bent. I'll leave it with you. See how it feels. Extend the spine nice and long. Take the arms up overhead, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the left knee in. And as we bring the left knee in, we're going to take a hold around the calf, or maybe around the back of the leg for you. And as we come up, we're going to take 2 pulses. 1, 2, and release back. So extended with the legs, extended through the arms. Reach up, extend, pulse, pulse. Try not to draw the leg in too much. Use the abdominals to lift you. And then take that double little squeeze at the top. So it is quite nice into the hamstrings, but you don't want to over pull there. So try and get as much height through the shoulders as you can. Don't worry too much about bringing the nose anywhere close to the knee. Just focus on that length. Pointing the toes, please, if you can. Awesome stuff. Let's go for another 5. And I'm going to swap sides. 4. Remember to keep the knee bent if it's more comfortable. 3. 2. And 1. Nicely done. Okay, let's swap sides. Left leg long, or left leg where the sole of the foot is down on the ground and the knees bent. Entirely up to you. And start to extend that right leg. Taking a reach forward, wrapping around the ankles or around the calf or the back of the leg. 2 little pulses. 1, 2, and then slowly release back down. So just as important as we slow lift is that slow leg lower. 1, 2. As you lower the leg, you're really working hard through the lower abs to control that descent. So keep pace. Well done. Let's go for another 8. We're going to be moving off our backs next, coming into a prone position, so belly facing the floor. In fact, I think we've got standing next. I remember a deadlift in there somewhere. It'd be nice not to be working the abs so hard anyway. Oh, heart rate's up to 81. Fabulous. Another 3. I can definitely feel this one. 2. Nice work. Keep that breath flowing. And 1. Chris says his ninth and 10th abdominal. Just take the knees in. Or tweaking. All right, well done. Now you can roll onto your side here if you want. I'm going to rock and roll up and down the spine, across the legs, and then work it into a nice little plank. Okay, so from plank, just want you to have a little walk forward. So inhale, and exhale, just walk the feet in. Have a little stretch out there. Well done. Okay, take the fingertips to the toes or ankles, wherever you can reach. Drop the head down. Inhale, rise on the way up. Rolling up through the spine. And taking a little wiggle around there. Good stuff. Inhale, come up to the sky. And exhale, just having a nice stretch out as we come down to the mat. So a nice little flow, bit of movement, and then I want you to think about stepping back into your plank. Right, don't get too scared about this. We're going to be working into our plank challenge now. So it is a prone section of the class. I was right the first time. Hips to the floor, hands underneath the shoulders. At any point, you can come down onto the forearms. We're going to be moving through different variations of plank. And if you want to come down onto the knees, then that's fine. So what we're on, 21. Okay, so starting to move through our basic plank. So knees down or knees lifted. If you're lifting the knees, lift up the quads. Start to move the weight forward slightly so you get the heels over the toes. Try and press the shoulder blades apart as you press with the fingertips into the mat. So taking full deep breath here. So it's a static exercise to start off with, just generating lots of heat through the body and finding that focus on the breath. Squeezing the upper arms together. Nice, strong plank. Well done. Hold in there for another 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down to the forearms if you're not already there. Make sure the hips come down in line with the shoulders. We're going to take a walking plank. So we're going to lift up with the right foot, flex the foot, and then pop it down. Lift up with the left foot. So the toes are pointing down to the ground the whole time. So really extending down the back of the leg. So this is going to be working directly into your lower back and glutes. So really working into strengthening that very functional area of the body, pretty much involved with most movements that we do. Keep arching through the upper back so you get that separation of the scapula, the shoulder blades. Strengthening pretty much the whole body here. Just taking any rest at any point if you like to. That's fine. For another 10. 9, 8. Just let the gaze come down towards the floor so you're keeping length through the back of the neck. 6. Keep that breath flowing. 5. See what the heart rate gets up to on this one. 4. 3.
You've got this, Melissa.
2. Melissa's all over it. And 1. Well done. Press back up to full plank. Let's take a side plank. Plus, plant the right hand down underneath the right shoulder and open out here to the long left side of your mat. If you want to be on the forearms, if your wrists are feeling a little bit weak this morning, that's fine. You can stagger your feet or you can stack your feet. Hold in there for 10. You got this. 9. Get those hips nice and high. Try and find that really long line to the body. 7. Keep gripping the mat with the fingertips. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Swap sides with control. Do an amazing job. Left hand plants. Right arm lift. Squeeze and lift those hips. Stagger the feet, stack the feet. Anything you like. Focus on building strength here. Deep full breath. 10. Hey. Yeah, don't hurt your wrist, Melissa. Come down onto the forearm if you need to. 7. 6. I'm taking the focus off my body and onto the paint job that Chris has done on the studio walls. It's actually better. 3. 2. 1. Well done. Come back through center. Find your full plank. Let's take a little release as we walk the hands back to the feet. So take a breath. Try and take it the hips really stable. Think about planting hands in the sand as you walk back with the hands towards the toes. As you get there, start to walk straight back out. If it's wanting a little bit more rest, take a bit longer in your forward fold. Coming all the way forwards. If you want to take it a little bit further forwards into an extended plank, taking the arms out in front of underneath the shoulders, go ahead. That can make it a little bit juicier for you. Returning back to the feet, letting the head dangle down, finding lots of space in the spine as you take a forward fold. And then walking the hands maybe beyond that shoulder, but really squeezing into the glutes, dropping down with the hips. I do like an extended plank, I have to say. Walking the feet back. Well done. We're going to take another 3 of these. And I'm going to find another variation for you to play around with. Keep going, doing really well. Well done. Walking the hands back. Full breath in. And out. Keep going. Last one. Walk it back in. Okay, we're going to take shoulder taps on this next one. So when you get back to your plank position, you can bring the knees down if you want to. You can take this from forearms if you want to, although you've not got as much space. So keeping stability here, you can take the feet closer together. That's going to make it harder. Or if you take the feet wider, it just means that you're more stabilized, as you can imagine. So slowly bringing the right hand to the left shoulder. Right hand then comes down. Left hand lifts to the right shoulder. So we're not trying to rotate from side to side through the hips here. Awesome. For another 10, you got this. 9. 8. 7. 6. Keep those hips down. 5. 4. 3. Keep going, Melissa. 2. And 1. Well done. Back into side plank. Right hand down. Open up to the left side. You can come onto the, in fact, let's come all down onto the forearms. Okay, taking the forearms, we're going to take a thread the needle from here. Take the left arm, post it underneath the right side body. Maybe gaze at the fingertips as they come through behind you. And then squeeze and lift and open out there. Well done. Just take a little bit of weight out of the wrist there. And lift. And post. So nice, slow control movement still. Body might be shaking, that's okay. Lots of muscle recruitment going on there. Awesome stuff, well done. For another 3. We'll swap sides. 2, keep going. We've done 7 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. 1, swap it over. Bring the left forearm down. Rise up with the right arm. Stagger or stack the feet. Get the hips high. Inhale. And exhale, post through. Lift. Stretch it out. Maybe wiggle the fingers as you lift that right arm. If you're feeling like your wrist needs a rotation, rotate as you're up there. Then post. Another 4. Good work. We've got 15 minutes left of class. You'll be pleased to know it's not all as hard as this. Lift up. We've got a bit of work on our tummies, and then we'll take some nice stretches. A bit more core work to finish. 1 more little post through. Excellent. Awesome. Well done. Bring the right hand down. Press back into your full plank. And let's go for a Superman. Okay, so you can take this from kneeling plank if you want. We're going to take a reach out with the right foot and the left arm. And then we're going to slowly swap it over. Right arm lifts, left leg lifts. So alternating both sides of the body, but making it a nice, slow, smooth transition. Taking a little pause as you're up there, and then swapping sides. Nice work. So always option to take this from kneeling. As I said, you want to find somewhere which works for you. That core better be tight, better be squeezing. Well done. Let's go for another 3, 2, and 1. Well done. All right, take the hips to the sky. Find down dog. Have a little stretch out. And let's take a deadlift. Walk towards the thumbs. Little baby steps with the hands. So with our deadlift, as before, we're going to roll up through the spine to come to full height, standing. It's going to test your balance a little bit. It's a really good one for working into the lower part of the back again. Ground down through the left foot, big toe, little toe, heel. And start to keep the hips squared to the front of the mat. But start to seesaw that weight forward. So you can take the hands down. They're going to dangle down towards the floor. As we lower with a nice straight back, that right leg's going to float out behind us as our counter. As we float down into this T shape. Now you can tap down on the mat if you want, then keeping the spine long, we're going to roll all the way back up. So we're not rolling through the spine at all, thinking about you've got a broom handle tied around your heel and around the back of your head, so you're having to keep that nice, straight, strong, long spine. Shoulders are even, you don't want the right coming down in front of the left. You want to keep that balance across the shoulder blades as well. Lowering down with control, lifting with control. Make sure that 30% squeeze is on in the belly for another 3. Nice work. Really building lots of strength here in that left leg, particularly into the left glute. A really functional muscle, again, integral to most movements that we take through the body on our day-to-day. If you've ever tweaked your glute, you'll know about it. Okay, lower once more, and then we'll swap sides. Fabulous. Inhale, come on up. And with control, float the right foot down to meet the left. If you need to give that left leg a bit of a shake, go for it. Plant down right, big toe, little toe, and heel. And let's go straight in. 8 reps on this side. So lowering down. Ooh, this is wobbly this side. Lift on up. So in the yoga, we'd encourage you to exhale to lower and inhale to lift. So maybe try it the other way around. Okay, inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. So try to make the breath even in length in both phases, just as you would with the speed of the movement. Good work. To find something that's not moving to focus on always really helps with the balance. We're going to have 2 more of these, and then we're going to come down onto our tummies. Hurrah! We're going to take, if you've done this before, W, Y, and I stretches. So really nice work into the upper back and shoulders. All right, it's finished there. Take the left foot down, give that right leg a little bit of a shake. Let's make our way down to the ground and onto our tummies. So W, Y, and I. If you've not seen before, just have a look at my arms. So a W is where you've got the arms bent, you've got that W shape. A Y is where you're extending out at 45 degrees, and I is where you have both arms out in front. So you've got W, Y, I. On the I, you've got to really focus on drawing the shoulder blades down the back, though, so that we don't hunch up through the shoulders. So come down onto the tummy, forehead onto the floor, and the elbows and palms to the floor. So we're in this W shape, okay? From here, we're going to lift up with the upper body only. So plant down with the tops of the feet, the knees and the thighs. Inhale, squeeze and lift to W. Extend the arms out into that Y position, and then bring them back to center for that I position. Rock them back to W, and then slowly lower down. And again, inhale, W. Exhale, Y. Inhale, I, and exhale, W, and lower. Okay, and again, inhale. Keep pressing down through the feet to get that activation. Extend out to Y. You know where you're doing with this? So rock on at a pace which works for you, but make it controlled, lowering down. So we're going to take another 3 more of these little sequences. W, Y, I, shoulders back and down if you can. Back to W, and lower. 2 more. Really working into that lower back space, that lumbar spine region. Back to I, into W. 1 more. You've got this. You're doing really well. W, inhale. Exhale to lengthen, so keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Into that I shape. Back to that W shape. And back down. Well done. Okay, so from here, we're going to walk back to plank. So press into the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and taking a little walk back with the hands as before. So everybody think duck. Don't think Chinese. Don't think crispy duck. Think duck walk. We're going to take the feet out a little bit wider, so mat distance apart. I'm going to sink down. You can always rest the elbows on the thighs if you need to, or you could take them out in front of you. Doing this, you really have to work into that strengthening around the center. So what we're going to do is we're going to take little steps forwards, keeping the butt down nice and low. So this is our duck walk, really works into that functional strength through the hips. Come to the front of the mat and then reverse it. So a reversing duck. Beep, beep. Whack, whack, yeah, that way. And again, to the front. It's strong. I'm not going to do loads. Ducks don't beep. No, they keep. All right, coming all the way back. Oh, there we go. Fabulous. All right, inhale to lift. Bring the feet together and roll down, walking your way to, dare I say it, a plank. We're going to take a scapular push-up, though. So by all means, take this from an all-fours position. So with a scapular, you can also take it from forearms as well. So choose whatever feels right for you. So underneath your scapula, you've got these serratus anterior muscles, which basically attach to the rib cage. And what we're going to do, you're going to find a nice strong plank, and we're going to round through the spine. Okay, and then we're going to drop and try and find a little valley between the shoulder blades. So press down deep into the shoulders so the elbows are locked out, they're straight. We round through the spine. Okay, and then we retract. So protract, press the shoulder blades high, retract, drop the shoulder blades back and down and find that little valley between the shoulder blades. Protract, press, and retract. Keep going. For another 5, 4, 3. You're not lowering your body at all, Chrissy. Keep your arms locked out. That's it. Lower and round. So you have to engage the abs as well. Lower and round. 1 more. Lower and round. Juicy. Drop down to the knees if you're not already there. Let's thread that needle. Right hand post underneath the left arm. Bring the right side of the head towards the floor. Extend the left arm if you need to. Hips are high. Oh, and enjoy that stretch out there through the shoulders. Just allowing the abs to relax a little bit. No squeezing on this one. Well done. All right, making our way back to center. Let's take that stretch on the other side. Left hand floats underneath the right arm and can extend. Pressing the sit bones back towards the back of your mat to get that nice stretch through the spine. Imagine you're just on a rack and you're pressing one way Opposite directions, really lengthening out there. For 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Come back through center, and let's come back onto our backs as we take a couple of exercises for the abs. Rolling down when you're ready. We're going to take both legs into the air. We're going to start to draw some circles with our big toes. Just little circles with the left. Just isolate that one side, first of all, left leg only. So taking little circles. So trying to keep the hips pinned to the floor. Only taking one little slow motion. And to keep that right leg as still as you possibly can. And taking nice, slow circles. So pressing down with the lumbar spine, the lower backs, and abs are engaged. If you wanted to, you could lift the shoulders off the mat, get the upper abs involved as well. And let's move to the other side. So right big toe, allowing yourself to just draw small circles. So really working from the hip. Nothing's coming from the knee here at all. Well done. Keep that lower back pressed firmly to the ground. As the legs are lifted, the lower abs are working super hard. Okay, let's see if we can do both together. It's going to test your coordination. Taking circles one way. Feel free to move the other way as well. Fabulous. Sorry? Chris has lost the coordination. All right, take the soles of the feet together. Let the side edges of the feet rest down on the earth. Let the knees flop out to the side. And let's take a bound angle sit-up. So you can take a full variation of your sit-up, or you can take a pulse. I'm going to take the pulse variation with the fingertips in this James Bond position, taking a curl up through the spine. I'm still imagining I've got that apple tucked underneath my chin. Okay, I'm going to take a pulse there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. I'm going to take the arms overhead. You don't have to. You can always take the fingers down by the side body if you prefer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, this time I'm going to take the fingers over towards the left-hand side. So outside of the left thigh. Try not to roll over too much onto that left side, keeping that right side of the body heavy. 3, 2, 1. Back through center. And to the right side this time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more of these each side. You've got this. We're nearly there. Squeeze. 5, 4, 3. Obviously, the right shoulder comes off at this point. And back. Last time. To the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. All right, final exercise before Shavasana. Lower back to the ground, toe taps, single leg or double leg lowers. You choose. So option to keep the shoulders down on the floor, legs bent, single-legged toe taps, floating down with control. Don't let gravity just flop the leg down. Control that lift, control that lower. Or you can take the full leg lower without the knee bend. All of these can be done with or without that lift of the shoulders, or you could take both legs down at the same time for a full exercise. So shoulders lift, sit back of the neck nice and long, lifting and lowering with control for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Awesome stuff. You've done a really good job today. 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees in. Give yourself a little rock and roll from side to side. Maybe take a happy baby. Peace sign fingers around the big toes, soles to the sky. Deep full breath in and relax. You can let go of that tummy now. A little gentle rock, maybe, if that feels good in your happy baby. If there's any other stretches that you'd like to take, feel free. You might want a windscreen wiper or take a spinal twist. Maybe if you're feeling a bit pinchy in the lower back, you want to take a dynamic bridge. Or maybe just to stretch out the abs. Dynamic bridge is always quite nice. And then when you're ready and you've finished whatever stretches you enjoy, come on down into your final resting pose. I'm headed on in for recline butterfly, just as we started the session, but if you want to take full corpse pose, or maybe you prefer being on your tummy in a crocodile pose, or maybe if you're really feeling funky, you could take your legs up the wall. Slowing down the breath. Just enjoying that heat that we've been building through the body. Those precise, controlled movements, bringing strength, lengthening the muscles. Well done. Taking another 5 breaths here. Taking a little bit of what you need on that breath in, and simply releasing anything which you don't need on that breath out. Two more full breaths in your own time. And then